Hi everyone, and welcome to Nanny Cooks from the Ozarks. It is fall in the Ozarks and I love the fall season. The trees are starting to turn colors. There's fall festivals everywhere, pumpkin patches and corn maze, apple butter making days, and Branson is going full steam this time of year. It's just a great time of year. But I'm going to talk to you today about something special. We are starting a farewell series, and it's time. We've been doing these videos for several years, and we have thoroughly enjoyed doing them. And we have met so many people virtually from around the world and the United States. But there comes a time when we need to say, that's enough. So the time has come, and we cherish all the memories that we've had over the years of doing these, and we will treasure these forever. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a farewell series of videos where we're going to have 5 recipes, and all of these recipes are from my cookbook that I published in the spring of this year. And we have been so pleased with the response on this. In fact, we had to do a second order, and we have 50 books left from this second order. And I'm going to put a link on this video and future videos how you can order this cookbook. They would make a great Christmas gift, either for the beginner cook or for the seasoned cook too. So stick with us for these next 5 series, and I hope you will enjoy this cookbook. So, okay, we're going to take a short pause, and then we're going to come back with our first recipe, which is popovers. Okay, we're back, and we have a treat for you today. These are called popovers, and they are luscious and fun to make. It's a fun thing to do with your whole family. This starts with a thin batter, and I just took them out of the oven and I put a hole in it to let the steam escape. But I want to show you what these look like on the inside. They are light and fluffy, and the best part about it is you fill it with all of these good things. I'm going to put some butter in here, let that melt because these are really hot. Then I'm going to drizzle some honey on it. Can you see it okay? Drizzle some on the other side. And then I'm going to put some homemade grape jelly on one side too. And if you want a treat for your family, you need to try these popovers. Can you hear them? They're very crispy. And some people, when they think of popovers, they think of Yorkshire pudding, and they are similar to Yorkshire pudding. The only thing, Yorkshire pudding, you use the drippings from usually a beef roast, and it puffs up too. But my friend from Cassville gave me this recipe. Her name is Carol, and she gave the recipe to me long time ago, and every time I make them I always think of Carol. And our family can go through a batch of these in no time. Now, this recipe is in the cookbook, like I told you earlier. It's on page 15. And these are very easy to make, and it would be good to get your family involved in these. And because it's a unique way, and especially, whoop, there goes my timer. And especially in the winter time, it's a fun thing to do. So I'm going to show you how to do these today. This pan is hot, so I'm going to move it back out of the way and show you how these are made. It's very simple to make. The best way to do it is in a blender. Now, if you don't have a blender, that's not the end of the world. You can use a whisk like this, but you need to incorporate some air in them to make them rise. So here is the recipe and the ingredients. Now I have already mixed up a batch because when you mix this up, you need to let it set for 15 minutes before you start them. The first thing you want to do is spray either popover pans like these that we used here, or if you don't have popover pans, it's no big deal. You can use just plain muffin pans. In fact, sometimes I like these better because they'll make a hole in the bottom of the popovers when they're finished, and you can fill that hole with honey and jelly and butter or whatever you want. So we put this in a 425-degree oven for 2 minutes while we're getting everything else ready. So I'm going to set that in there, set my timer, and show you how to put this together. Now, like I said, I have already mixed up a batch so it can set for at least 15 minutes. But the basic ingredients for these popovers is a cup of flour, a cup of milk, and you want it to be warm, 2 eggs at room temperature, 2 teaspoons of oil, just any kind of oil. I use vegetable oil, or you could use melted butter if you wanted to, and a half a teaspoon of salt. You take these ingredients, and like I said, if you have a blender, that works great. If you don't, you whisk these. I mean, you just whisk the tar out of it if you use it by hand. If you use a blender, you just blend it good for about 15 seconds. Then let this sit for 15 minutes before you put them in the hot pans. And when our time is up, on the muffin pans I've got in there, we're going to fill these too. And you will see that they will turn out just like this. And sometimes you can just pop the bottom of that and see that big hole in there? You can fill that with butter or honey or molasses or whatever you want to fill it with. These are just good, fun things to do. Okay, our timer is done here. We're going to take this hot pan out, and we're going to fill them about half full, depending on how tall you want them. But I want my batter to stretch for all of these today. So I'm going to fill them up, and be careful because this pan is hot. Then they go into a 425-degree oven for 20 minutes. Then you turn the temperature down to 350 degrees and cook them another 20 minutes. And as soon as that time is up, you take them out of the oven, poke a hole in it to let the steam out, and serve them hot. They're best served hot. I'm going to stick these in the oven, set my timer for 20 minutes at 425, and then I'll lower the temperature down to 350 for another 20 minutes. I hope you'll try this recipe, and think of this gal in Cassville, Missouri, by the name of Carol when you do. She can play the piano like no one I've ever heard before. So she's always been a dear friend to me. And remember, I'll put the link for the cookbook, and I'm really pushing the cookbooks now. So help us out so we don't have to keep them. Okay? Well, you all have a great day, and thank you for watching.